Hey there, Aquarius fam. How's it going? Oh, there we go. So I'm sitting here shuffling, getting, and checking, see about what you have to look forward to for July of 2025. And cards weren't really coming, but I'm like sitting here talking to spirit and stuff, and I feel like someone has come, someone new. So there's a new viewer to this channel for these Aquarius readings who, like, I don't know if this is like a grandparent or an aunt. This might be an aunt or that kind of energy. Someone who looks over you and watches out for you, like an aunt. Yeah. That person who, when their parents were away, it was like, hey, they're on vacation, so we are too. That kind of vibe for someone. That is happening. But then 3 cards just fell. So let's go ahead. That lets me know it's time to cut the deck. So let's see, fam. All right, card number 1. Actually, no, we're going to do it this way. Card number 1 is the 3 of Cups. Celebration. Life be good. Look at all that nature around them. The vegetation and such. Whoever, like you, this is like community. You have people, beings at least, to celebrate. So if maybe you moved, maybe you just don't really have that many friends right now, and that's just where your life is. I am not judging. I'm in no position to judge, that's for sure. But this feels like you still have those around you who are celebrating alongside you, who are very happy for you, proud of you, whatever that means. Now, the next 2 cards are 2 very particular major arcana that were part of the Libra reading. So if you have a bunch of Libra in your chart, or it's like your rising or moon or something, and Aquarius is your sun, you may want to check out that reading. We'll see how you feel by the end of this, right? But the first one is Justice. Sorry, Justice. Hello. Words. I'm really noticing the pillars this round. Now more than ever, when receiving this card in a reading, I'm feeling that legal, like, courtroom kind of vibe element to this card. I don't know if it's like contracts, or it feels with these cards like there's an ending that's finally happening and balance is being restored, because the next card, fam, is the Death card. That transformative underbelly. What? There's an opinion on Scorpios going on that isn't even mine. I mean, it's not only mine. I may have an opinion because I've had to deal with some, okay? That owe other Scorpios an apology. I love it when people are like, God, I bet Scorpios are really tired of hearing that shit. Oh, you're a Scorpio. Well, then maybe you don't want to deal with other Scorpios, okay? Maybe you are the shining light, and we love exceptions around here. But this is very transformed. I don't know why I babbled all of that in Aquarius reading. Maybe you understand, whoever that was for. And maybe it just feels good to hear somebody else say it. But this is a very big time for transformation. So not only do we have legal things going on, but there's also that karmic balance that is occurring. So regardless of how difficult things may have been, because the skeleton is wearing black armor, so there were times you need to know how protected you've been. Like, I know that we don't need to tell our trauma that it could be worse. But there were things that could have happened that didn't. Because you actually really truly are protected. So things are coming out in your favor. Okay? It may not always have felt like that in the past. But something tells me it's going to begin. Okay? It's going to start feeling like, wow, holy crap. Woo! Dodged. The card to come up after the Death card is the Queen of Wands. The Witch of the Tarot has arrived. There's a lot of work that you've been putting in, not like hard physical labor, but your energy. The royalty with the wands is that Phoenix reborn energy. They have been there, they have done that, and come out the other side. Let's look at how this is like. We have this. That was the first thing we saw, like, woohoo, huzzah, is how it feels. And then, boosh. Proceedings, done. Balance, restored. Now you got to shake off the ash and really come into your full potential. Right? It's a difference, like when doing affirmations. This has been, I've been feeling compelled to bring this up in other of the air readings as well. There's a difference in affirmations between I am moving forward, I am receiving the best, or I am, you know, something that's still putting it in a way that's still future tense rather than present tense. This Queen of Wands is present tense. She's made it through that past tense shit and she has let it go. It burned down, figuratively, metaphorically, please, right? And now we're moving forward and she has those sunflowers there to remind you that the light is coming from within. Right? That flame within is burning and the plants can't help but focus on you. All right. So that's the top row of 4. The bottom row of 4, let's see how they pair up. Underneath the 3 of Cups, we have the Moon. The first thing that came to mind when I pulled this card was you already know. A lot has already been illuminated for you. So you have that choice. You can either continue doing what you know simply because it's comfortable, because it's what you know. You know what to do, you know what to expect, and the unknown and going into the unknown can be scary. But you already know, and we're back to the pillars again. But I want to remind you, fam, that you're no longer that crustacean in the bottom, right? You're no longer that crawdad, lobster, whatever it is. But you're also not just given into your animalistic nature either. You've also evolved past that. So where do you think you are on this path in that Moon card? I feel like you're standing between the towers, right? You are making your way to that moon or that sun. We're in the moon now, but there's this sun over here. Aren't the towers? Yeah, the towers in that pathway are over here too, fam. All these columns being represented. We have the freaking, wow. We have the major arcana with those columns. I think of Solomon's temple and the columns that were on either side. I can never remember what the other one is. The one is like about truth and stuff, right? And I can't remember if the other one is about knowledge or whatever, something. Is it science? Or am I just thinking of something else, you know? Underneath, okay, moving on, Amy. Underneath the Justice card. Wow, fam. Oh my goodness. Okay, this reading is also already just astronomical for me. I fucking love it when this happens. So not only do we have all 3 major arcana with the towers represented, we have the Queen of Wands, which I put on par with what card came underneath Justice? The Magician card did, man. How freaking powerful are you? How freaking powerful are you? And you knew it. Why? Because you're coming into your own. You've been figuring this out, and it's all in the past. You are the vibe of this Queen of Wands. So if you know, don't worry about the gender crap, okay? Don't freaking worry about it, dude. This is a vibe check. The queens are that feminine energy, that intuition, that knowing, that nurturing and compassion, which the kings are also capable of, but that masculine energy is more that outward kind of shit. And really, these kind of terms are just reaching a point of obvious obsoleteness, you know, where it's like, can we just talk about energy like it's energy instead of having to give it gender? Why does everything have to have a gender? Who cares, right? Like, who cares? But, and I feel like that is the balancing act that's going on here. There is no masculine, feminine. There's that singularity, right? This is an evolution of you and your soul. That spark within you, that consciousness, okay? The Death card even has that religious figure that's like, whoa. I like to think of it as their wisdom. It's like, whoa. You're trampling all over yourself. What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? It doesn't have to be like that. The unknown can be scary, but what do you really have to be scared of at this point? What do you have to be scared of? Nothing. And I want you to be secure in that, Aquarius, okay? Life is going to hashtag life. People are going to come and go. The circle of life and all of that. You are part of that, though. And you know it. And more with every passing day, you're really getting secure within that and stretching in to the clothing, the lifestyle that truly resonates and fits and fulfills you. Heck yeah, you have reason to celebrate because you're choosing the path that matters most to you. You're choosing the path that is truest of all for you. Not other people and their opinions, for you. There is no getting around, okay? Okay? You trust that. Underneath that Death card, it's the Ten of Wands. You've been putting in the hard work, that determination, that like you've had difficulty with saying no in the past. You've had difficulty with holding up your boundaries, right? And you've been burned out and you're exhausted. But that 10, with that 10's an end of a cycle, and coming up underneath that Death card is really emphasizing that. You are almost there, fam. You're almost home. This is it. Know that. Because the universe and life are trying to help you really fully comprehend that. Not just, you know, within some trend and fad on social media. Really within your roots and this every fiber of your being, okay? And underneath that Queen of Wands is the Eight of Pentacles, that mastery card. You went out away from home. You reached a point where you're like, no more distractions. I need to do this. And I feel like that's that animalistic kind of like getting distracted by, you know, headlines and false media. You know what I mean? That was just distracting you and leading you astray and distracting you from your own power and your own consciousness. Maybe you went back to school. I feel like there was something you always wanted to do, but you were told, no, you gotta get a real job. So you got the real job. And it sucked. And you weren't happy. You paid your bills. But you weren't happy. And it's like, because that's been such a vibe check for everyone, as far as I'm concerned, lately. Whatever that means, right? That it's like, I tried it your way. And your way led me astray. So I'm going to trust myself. You know what I mean? Those who did that have been figuring it out. Like, oh, that was a trap. And yeah. Oh, the final card, the caboose card, is the Two of Swords. There's our swords. So, because it has that crescent moon, right? So for me, the Two of Swords is the Never Again card. But like the moon card, it can go either way. And it's at the caboose, so it doesn't have anything that it's paired up with. Either you're struggling to truly make decisions, or you have been. And you need to remember that not doing something about it actually is a decision. It's a decision to just let it go. Drop that ball. Which I just don't think that that's you. The other flip side to it is, yeah, all that pain from the past and all that struggle bussin', whatever it may be for us as individuals, plays its part, because now it's played a part in my wisdom, my intuition. That moon, right? This person has a blindfold on. They know those waters are a bit turbulent behind them. They know there may even be a storm brewing. But they don't need to see it, because they can smell bullshit coming from a mile away. And nothing like they have ever experienced can even reach them now, because they are returned to sender. And that's actually what I'm feeling for you. I'm just saying. On the bottom of the deck, though, is the Nine of Swords. Someone has some shit looping in their brain. Loop-a-doop-a-doop-doop. That's that anxiety. That dark night of the soul. But this person is also wearing white. Like this magician. Wow, my stomach just, this deep bass of a growl. Whatever it is that has really been messing with your head, that's not your weight to carry. You didn't actually do anything wrong. I don't know what they said to you. I don't know exactly what happened. But you weren't the one in the wrong. Or these things that you're worried about, that you're stressing about, that's looping in your head, they're not things you actually need to worry about. They do not apply. Okay? But that 9 leads us to the 10. So I was thinking that too when I was like, yeah, burnout, but there's something painful in here. Boosh. I consider the bottom of the deck to be the main gist of the story. We get these particulars, but that's like the main vibe. Someone's stressing about something that's really been worrying them. And maybe it's these court proceedings. It's going to work out, okay? You know, there may be something you need to take with some grace, but you've got that. You have all the resources, all of the tools that you need right there in the palm of your hand, okay, fam? Here's that Moonology deck. I just got this finally. I love this deck so much. It's so pretty. Let's see what kind of advice Spirit wants to share with these moon cards for Aquarius for July of 2025. What kind of advice can really help you right now as you deal with these proceedings coming to completion? Vibes come into fruition. Okay, I said that. That just came out. Vibes come into fruition. I feel like cut the deck. Okay, we'll cut the deck this time. What do you got? Ooh, What is that? New moon in Sagittarius. Luck is on your side. And the void of course moon. Nothing will come of this situation. You're scared. You're stressing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Even the law and karma is on your side. I really hope I'm not leading anybody astray with that. Oh my goodness gracious, please no. On the bottom, we have bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius, fam. There's your bottom. Okay, so we have some root action going on here. The ringing in my left ear just went but then we also have that mind, that crown, bit of indigo for the third eye, right? Because you know, fam, you know. So like I said, this is a new deck for me, so let's go ahead and see what the book says about these. Okay, already, fam. So luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. Whatever is coming your way, it looks set to put a smile on your face. High five, fam, high five. The new moon in Sagittarius can mark the restart of fun after a period of feeling low. What did I say? Yay. The energy is adventurous and even willing to take a few risks, but be careful you don't bet the farm on something here, as the Wheel of Fortune is still spinning. This card is about exploring life metaphorically by exchanging big ideas with others or just thinking about your own philosophies. Perhaps it's time to change your mind about something important? Question mark. It can also signal that a trip away is coming up if that's something you're working to achieve. But the overall message of this card is that whatever happens next will be some sort of gift, even if that simply means widening your worldview. In a spot where sometimes there are affirmations, we have count your blessings. Literally, write them down or say them out loud. You are grateful, present tense, okay? Honor how far you've come because you have reasons to celebrate, okay? You have beings to celebrate with. Additional meanings for this card. First and foremost, Aquarius, you need to laugh more. Whatever's been going on, it's like you haven't been laughing lately, and it's time to bring that back into your life, that joy and fun. This is a wonderful time to start a course of study or teaching. Maybe for someone, that's what this is representing, that official institution type of vibe. But also, don't forget, don't be narrow-minded, all right? Don't get that tunnel vision going on. Don't flip this Two of Swords to the negative version, okay? And then start a week of gratitude practice, whether it's in a journal or on Facebook or whatever. So the teaching says Sagittarius is the sign of fun, travel, exploration, and the great cosmic quest. It's the sign of big ideas. its energy is expansive, upbeat, lucky, and divine. You think? You think? Bam. Oh. So the new moon in Sagittarius exudes all this, as does this card whenever you draw it. Nothing is set in stone with Sagittarius, and an optimistic energy could attract all manner of good things if you tap into the energy by expecting the best. That set in stone kind of thing, there's something there, because we have these columns in these cards, right? So it feels like there are things that are solid that you can still depend on. And that's going to be a part of what helps you, right? That solidity and stability while the chaos of the past wraps up. Okay, fam? And then we're moving on to the Void of Course moon, of course. Now I have the freaking Mr. Ed theme song. This is my first time drawing this card. Nothing will come of this situation. And a form of astrology known as Hori where an astrological chart is cast according to when the question is asked and decoded. A void of course moon means nothing will come of this matter, or the situation will bear no fruit. This may or may not be good news, depending on what you are asking. For example, if you were worried about something, whatever it was, this card can be taken as a sign that there is nothing to worry about. That feels like such a freaking mic drop moment right there, fam. So I'm just gonna... You got nothing to worry about. This is all going to work out. This is all going to work out. Okay? And you just believe in that, fam. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, for keeping me company this entire reading. I really do appreciate it, okay? And always remember, my dear Aquarius, I believe in you. Okay?